Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Whew. That was a close one, wasn't it? Shouldn't have been, but it was in the end. 9 wins out of 10. The greatest start any Liverpool manager has ever had. That's quite remarkable. 9 wins and 1 defeat in 10 games. It's 4 away wins out of 4, and it's actually 5 if you include that we won in the Champions League at the San Siro. So 5 away wins out of 5. 2 goals conceded in 7 league games. That's absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, first half started with 3 changes, which has been quite unusual for Slot, but it was time to get a few fresh legs in there and players who've earned the right. So Tsimikas came in for Robbo. I think Slot is managing Robertson's game time at the moment after a couple of injuries over the past season, which makes sense. Curtis Jones came in for Szoboszlai, which I think was likely to happen given that Szoboszlai has been slightly below his best over the recent games, and Jones was given a chance. Luis Diaz was given a bit of a rest because Cody Gakpo has been showing such good form over the last several months. So it started brilliantly. I mean, there was no slow start today. Well, it could have been, except they had a goal disallowed after 25 seconds, but it was 3 yards offside, so, doesn't really count, does it? But it was a fantastic fast start, total domination. At one point, we were up at around 87% possession. It was just nuts. And Palace just couldn't get near us at all. And the good news was that we didn't allow how easy it was to convert to complacency, which, as I've said before, we do have a little bit of a habit of doing. And the fast start paid off. An absolutely fantastic ball from Tsimikas to an overlapping Gakpo, put him in all sorts of space, and the pinpoint cross was just steered home by Jota with the defender sleeping. But it was a fantastic goal, fantastic team goal, and has been pretty symptomatic of the way we are playing football and the goals we've been scoring of late. So after that, I mean, Palace just lost the plot completely. They couldn't get anywhere near us. We were passing it around at will. I would say that first half was probably one of the best I've seen from Curtis Jones in terms of his control, in terms of his sprints, in terms of his first time passing of the ball, which I've been a bit critical of in the past. And he did drop off in the second half, but he hasn't played many minutes, so we'll give him a bit of a pass for that. But he was really, really good in that first half, and we dominated everything. The only thing we didn't do is convert it into chances and goals. You look at the shots on target, it's not very high, but that's because the ones we missed were shots off target. Jota put one past the post when he should have buried it. It was a brilliant ball in from Gravenberch, and Jota just had side footed. The keeper wasn't going to get it, and he put it wide. He did another one in the second half where the ball in from Trent, and Jota is absolutely unmarked 6 yards out, and he heads it wide. So there were big chances missed, but we all know what happens when big chances are missed in games. So second half, McAllister must have had a knock because he was replaced at half time by Szoboszlai, and with that, and I'm not blaming Szoboszlai, but with that change, we started to lose a bit of control in the midfield. It wasn't as balanced with those three, with Jones, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, as it was when McAllister was there. So as time went on in the second half, Palace, I think it must have been the game plan from their manager, was hang in there, just hang in there. And because he didn't start with his biggest threats, his biggest goal scoring threats, he introduced them in the second half when it was time for them to have a go and try and sneak something from the game. And it almost worked. I mean, probably, definitely, actually, one of our man of the match contenders was Alisson. He was absolutely superb again. But he saved us about 3 or 4 times. And as a reaction to that, Slot started to make his own changes. Salah was taken off, unusually, but Diaz came on the right, and Robertson came on for Tsimikas, and then eventually Endo came on as well for Jones. And I think it was all designed to try and give us a few more legs, a bit more solidity. But Palace were getting chances. Now, in no way, when you watch this back, it will look quite routine, because Palace only had about 2 or 3 very good chances. One of them was that 3-on-2 when the fella hit it straight at Jaros after Jaros had come on for Alisson. But in general, we were still having most of the play, but it was on a knife edge, because a 1-0 scoreline always means that the game can be lost in a nanosecond. Then we had, of course, I just mentioned it, but Alisson pulled up with an injury. You can tell by his reaction straight away that it's not a good one, and he might be out for several weeks. Thankfully, I don't normally say this, but thankfully we've got the international break, so with McAllister going off and Alisson going off, that at least gives them a chance. That they're not going to go join their countries. I don't even know if their countries are playing, but if they are, they won't be going. So that gives them a chance to recuperate. We do, however, still have Kelleher and Jaros, and Jaros was superb in his cameo in pre-season, and he was very, very good today when he came on. So let's get to the shout-outs. They're all defensive today. The first one, I've mentioned them already, but Alisson is going to be a miss no matter how good our other backup keepers are, because he's the best in the world, and he's only conceded 2 goals in league play this season, and he's been absolutely brilliant week in, week out. So hopefully we get good news and he can be back in a matter of a couple of weeks rather than a couple of months, but we'll see. But superb display, everything about it. The other one, Virgil. God, he makes the game look easy, doesn't he? He was almost perfect, I would say, throughout that game. Yeah, there's a couple of, I know someone in the group said there was a couple of stray passes, but the amount of good he did today was absolutely sensational. He won player of the match, man of the match on TNT Sports. He was certainly my man of the match. I thought he was absolutely sensational, and the way he marshals that defence. There were so many times when he was in really tricky spots, and yet he played his way out of there like calm as you like. I had to say it, didn't I? Third one, he doesn't get many shout outs, but that ball from Tsimikas into Gakpo was fantastic, and he played really, really well today. He gets too much stick, I think, and he's not Andy Robertson, but he's a hell of a good backup to Andy Robertson, and he certainly played his part today, and he's played his part in several games this season, and our defensive record is so good. So a shout out to him as well. Just one final thought. The referee, Simon Hooper. Well done, lad. You just proved that you were as incompetent as you were a year ago during the Tottenham game when you sent 2 of our men off and disallowed a perfectly good goal. So today, you thought, I know what I'll do is no matter what happens, if a Crystal Palace player falls over, I'll give a foul. And if a Liverpool player gets fouled, I won't give him a foul. So and it was almost, I think it was 50 minutes of the game, we got our first foul. I wonder, has there ever been a game in history where a team has not been awarded a single foul? It was 0 fouls to 12. And every time a Palace player got touched, they fell over. And Hooper was very, very happy to give it. He's shocking. He shouldn't be refereeing, and he certainly shouldn't be refereeing Liverpool games because there looks like there's an agenda there. So I'm glad to see the back of him, at least for a while. Even Arnie Slot called it out at the end when the TNT Sports, who'd gone on and on and on and on about that little tug by Virgil being a blatant penalty. They even showed it to Slot at the end, and he just went, it's nothing. And also, the Palace fans can't complain because the referee didn't give Liverpool a free kick for an hour. So what are they moaning about? So, this is how it looks. Played 7, won 6, lost 1, scored 13, and had 2 goals against. Right now, and the games are ongoing, and it probably won't be like this at the end of the day, but right now, we're 4 points clear of everyone at the top. We go into the international break clear of everybody, no matter what happens in the next hour and a half. Arnie Slot has done an incredible job. When we come back though, it really kicks in. Now, I'm a bit tired of hearing that the fixture list has been kind to them. Yeah, right, after we win all these games, it's kind to us, but, you know, a promoted team away from home, early kick-off first game, that's not kind. We just had our second early kick-off, this time in London, not kind. We had Man United away, irrespective of how rubbish they are. We don't normally win there. And we've also won away in the San Siro, and we've won every single away games, and it's the best start any Liverpool manager's ever had. So stop it with this like easy fixtures. Having said that, we do have a run of fixtures coming up that is going to be a challenge, and it starts right after the international break with a home game against Chelsea. That's a big one. We win that, we go into the Arsenal game with them under pressure, because they're going to be behind us no matter what. So, enjoy your international break, and I will see you after the Chelsea game. You never walk alone. Ta-ra.